I'm here on Kensington Church Street in London at the offices of Eden McCallum. Eden McCallum is a management consulting company, but not an ordinary one. In fact, they have a really innovative business model. At the heart of this business model is a pool of independent freelance consultants, meaning that they have no consultants on the payroll. This helps keep the cost down for them, but also for their clients. This innovative business model also helps them to do other things well in terms of the value proposition for their customers. Eden McCallum was launched in 2000 by two former McKinsey consultants, Leanne Eden and Dina McCallum.
I was working for Condé Nast, the magazine publishers, as the strategy director. Leanne was still at McKinsey. There were lots of times when I wanted some strategic support to crack something, but I didn't really need a full McKinsey team, and certainly didn't have the budget to engage a full McKinsey team. So in part the idea came from that, this notion that there would be a pool of people who would be happy to be independent consultants, choose the work that they did, do a great job on that, then choose the next one, and clients who would actually benefit from having really high caliber, but more tailored and lower cost support.
Clearly you start off small. I think our first pool of consultants was all of about 12 people. And our first year we probably had about 5 different clients.
15 years on, Eden McCallum now has over 300 clients and a pool of over 500 independent consultants.
Fundamentally, our consultants are all people who have been through the training and development with one of the traditional consulting firms. And that is absolutely critical to our model. At the very least, they've done that. In 90% of cases, they've also had line experience.
I started my career in advertising. I worked for about 10 years with a number of London-based ad agencies. I moved to business school at LBS. Coming out of business school, I went to LEK Consulting and then joined Bain in 2005, worked there for another 5 years, then left there and have mainly been working with Eden McCallum since.
Our consultants are screened heavily on the way into the pool, and we take about 1 in 10 in. Then for each project, we screen them again, and we really understand their experience, but not just the experience on paper and how relevant it is to the project, but also their personality and their way of working and how well that will fit with the client, as well as the other team members.
We realized that it wasn't about having a database of consultants and picking a needle out of a haystack when a project came up. Fairly early on, year 3 or 4, we realized it was in fact about having deep and long relationships with consultants, giving them sustainable independent consulting careers, knowing them well enough to be a consulting firm rather than a constellation of independents.
Although the consultants are all freelance, Eden McCallum does have an in-house team supporting their work.
The core of the team is what we call client development team, and they're focused on meeting with the clients, talking about their issues, shaping the project, getting the teams going and making sure the projects are delivering.
There's a consultant-facing bit of the team, and those people are making sure we attract all the best consultants, and then they are doing the staffing for consultants, so figuring out in any given project how we should put that team together, who the right consultants are.
We also still have some HR and finance and ops and legal, and that has to work, and actually some of our growth issues in the business is making that as robust and slick as possible to scale.
There's also a team of in-house analysts.
And they're actually staffed on teams as usually the junior member of teams, and so there's a pool of, I think, 10 or 12 analysts that have come in, they're kind of university entrants.
Eden McCallum's long client list now includes a third of FTSE 100 companies and 40 of the global Fortune 500. What is the value proposition for these clients?
We thought early days having it less expensive, that's the core to what it would be. And that's really evolved enormously over the years, because actually other clients care enormously about the people and the caliber and experience of the people on the team, and clearly they like better value for money, and big professional services firms are pretty expensive. Actually, what they really care about is solving a problem in a way that's going to work in their company. And it's actually going to get them to a point where they can make a good decision and move forward. And they just say again and again, because our teams are just much more experienced, the consultants tend to have both line and consulting. they just get what it takes to make things happen.
But if I think about the type of teams that I'm typically involved in, it's a team of grown-ups. And that does make a difference to the client. It makes a difference in two ways, I'd say. One way is just in terms of quality of client interaction and the fact that an Eden McCallum team drops onto client site and can gel with a management team very, very quickly. The other element is just the kind of practicality and pragmatism of solutions.
Our teams come from different backgrounds, so there's not one overriding methodology. It's not the Bain approach or the McKinsey approach. We are working with our clients to find the right approach for them.
One of the things we did as consultants, of course, is go out and ask clients what does and doesn't work in the traditional consulting model. And I think the two things that irritate clients the most, one was the very senior partners coming for the pitch and then the very junior people showing up on Monday morning. And the second one was this fear that if I bring them in, they'll never go away. They're not happy just to solve the issue that I have. And clearly in our business model, it actually means that we're very happy to come in and solve that piece of work and go away.
It's become part of what we say to clients, that we're not in here scrabbling around for the next project. We really are here just to do a fantastic job on this one. So that's what clients get fundamentally. So they get a tailorable proposition, they get outstanding quality, they get additional experience, and they get that great value from a cost point of view.
What makes the Eden McCallum's proposition attractive to the 500 or so independent consultants who work with the company?
In the traditional firm, I'm spending more time doing non-project related stuff. So I'm doing business development on the side, I'm doing recruiting, I'm doing appraisals, I'm doing personal development of the team. And if you really enjoy just doing consulting work, then actually Eden McCallum, in a 4-month project, I spend 4 months cracking the project. It's a very beguiling existence.
For consultants, of course, the obvious thing is that they get more control over their lives. They can choose to do the projects that they want to do from amongst those that they're offered. The other piece of it is that means they can sort of run their life in a way that they want to. Most people work full-time when they're working on projects, but they have gaps in between projects and they can state when they are and how long they are, subject to when projects start and end. So they gain some freedom, so they gain some choice, and they gain some ability to sort of say, this is what I want my year to look like. I want to go and climb Kilimanjaro, and whatever month would be a good month for that.
Probably the best thing is I can access the same sort of quality of projects as I was doing at my 2 previous consulting employers, so Bain and LEK. And I think if you enjoy consulting, that's super important.
The model is innovative and disruptive, but it also has its challenges.
There are definitely times I want to be able to tell somebody, I'm sorry, you're going to Siberia for 6 months and goodbye, see you, get on the plane on Monday, and I don't have that option. And so for every single project, not only are we thinking, are they great, have we screened them for directly relevant experience, do they want to do it? And are they opting in and committing to this? And when they do, it's enormously powerful. The clients will say, it's great. Everybody here has opted in and wants to be on this team. They haven't been staffed. It makes my job harder.
And competitors are beginning to arrive in the Eden McCallum space, vying not just for clients, but for consultants.
We're less worried on the client side because there's so much demand out there that we still haven't tapped into. But there is quite a limited supply of fabulous independent consultants, and getting more and more of our share of that market is really, I think, the biggest challenge we face in the near term.
Global reach is another challenge on the immediate horizon.
Eden McCallum is still a relatively small firm. We've got offices in London and Amsterdam. We confront teams and have done work all over Europe and many areas of the globe. But equally, I have clients who approach me and say, actually, could I have local teams in 5 markets around the globe? It's like, actually, no, we're not the scale to do that.
But Eden McCallum is expanding. There's a new office in Zurich and another one planned for the United States. So how is the company's future looking?
We've been very resolute saying, what we're great at is what we do now, and actually there's huge potential for that in the market. So it might sound not terribly attractive or sexy or interesting or different, but to me it's just growing and doing more of what we do now.
The growth potential is enormous. I mean, we've just scratched the surface in the UK. We've been going for 14 years and we're not anywhere touching the envelope on those edges in the UK, let alone Holland, let alone the rest of the world. we're constantly trying to balance the needs to maintain a stable business and not just flag plant and take the risk that the whole thing collapses because you stretch too far, but actually trying to capture those growth opportunities that are sitting there, which are just numerous. So, in 25 years, I don't know, offices in, certainly every continent, and I don't know how many that will be, but we will, I'm sure, be able to serve clients in a truly global way.